A Los Angeles homeowner who exchanged gunfire with a pair of would-be robbers in a terrifying incident that was captured on home surveillance video had his concealed carry license suspended. In November 6th incident that happened outside of Vincent's home in Central LA neighborhood, his wife and 5-month-old child were reportedly inside the residence at the time. Vincent had just pulled into his gated driveway and walked to the front door when masked robbers jumped over the wall. Video shows one of the robbers charging at Vincent with his gun as he goes to open his front door. The homeowner immediately drops his keys and his drink, pulls out his concealed carry weapon, and opens fire on the would be intruders, who run away while returning fire. Neighbors called 911 and officers arrived a short time later but could not find the robbers. Quote, LA criminals came to my home pointing guns at my chest. After successfully defending my home and family and my 5-month-old child, California has now decided to end my Second Amendment right. In a statement, the Sheriff's Department stated that California Department of Justice establishes guidelines for concealed carry weapons permits, or CCWs, and that the Sheriff's Department must follow the DOJ's parameters in accordance with the law. Vincent, however, stated that the sheriff's office told him that it was due to him yelling at the LAPD officers when they visited his home to investigate the shooting 3 days after the incident had occurred. An investigation, he claims, was sloppy and wrong. According to Guilford Law Center to Gun Prevention and Violence, an organization led by former Congresswoman Gabrielle Gifford, the California city or county that issued the license must revoke it if they are notified by the state DOJ or determine that a license holder is legally prohibited from possessing firearms or that the licensee has become a disqualified person. In a statement, the Sheriff's Department stated that Vincent's CCW may immediately be reinstated as long as he has followed all the required policies, such as proper notifications and use of a properly documented weapon. Quote, the DOJ has been notified that there are avenues for Vincent to reapply for his permit. We have been in contact with Vincent and his family and have been providing information to them about CCW protocols and guidelines in an effort to ensure their Second Amendment rights are protected. On Saturday, the Los Angeles Police Department released a statement on X. Quote, the department is continuing the robbery investigation involving Vincent. The Los Angeles Police Department has not issued nor revoked a permit to carry a concealed weapon involving Mr. Vincent. The armed suspects, according to the LAPD, fled Vincent's home in dark-colored sedan. One of the suspects was described as a black male, approximately 5 foot 10 inches tall, who was wearing a black ski mask, black shirt, black pants, and was armed with an unknown type of handgun. A second suspect was described as a black male, approximately 5 foot 9 inches, wearing a ski mask and a gray hoodie sweatshirt with a blue stripe from the shoulder to the arm. No description was available for the driver of the vehicle. So let me just get this straight. So you mean to tell me that this guy did the right thing? He was cool, he was calm, he was collected, he didn't freak out, he didn't just randomly start firing indiscriminately at people's houses and all this other type of stuff. He defended himself, he defended his family, he defended his home from would-be robbers who tried to cause him harm and take everything directly from him. And you mean to tell me that they want to turn around and be like, okay, well, you did defend yourself, but we're just going to take away your concealed carry. And then you're going to state the reason why it was more than likely taken away was because he yelled at the police who are doing a very sloppy investigation. This is not the first time that LA has been covered. The LA cops, and I'm talking about in general, Los Angeles. This is not the first time that people have talked about the lack of duty that takes place when you have police investigations happening in LA, when the police are supposed to, of course, investigate themselves and they magically find no type of wrongdoing and all of these other things. This is not anything new, and I hope that people realize this. This is something that is stemming from a very serious problem, a very serious issue that seemingly nobody in power wants to fix. And the reason why nobody in power wants to fix it is because they're profiting off of every single facet of the wrongdoings that are taking place with the cops that are in LA. I want to remind you that if you look up a few stories, because I've covered some stuff over the years, you have LA cops who are in cop gangs. Before any of this ever took place, I didn't even know police had a gang. The only gang that we knew was that the police was the gang themselves. But within a gang, they have another gang, which is a part of another gang. It doesn't even make any sense. It makes zero sense. But yet, these are the people that we're supposed to trust. They're supposed to uphold the law and oath when they're hiding and they're living directly in secrecy. They have tattoos of the gangs that they directly belong. Like I said, it's crazy out here. It is so crazy out here. You literally have gang warfare on gang warfare on gang warfare. Like, how does that work? The police are supposed to go after the gangs, but realistically, the police are a gang. And then within the police that are a gang, there is another police gang. How? Like, no, like, again, like, where are the laws at? Where are the rules? Where are the regulations? But even then, it still wouldn't matter because they would just do these things in secrecy. They would do it in other ways, and they would hide it in plain sight, such as wearing a certain type of color. It might be very subtle. A lot of people might not notice it, but you might just notice a certain type of armband or the way that the band is basically used or how it's slanted, how it's covered, how thin or how folded said band is. Or it might go to certain details such as how it is that they wear their shirts. Different things like that. So, there's a lot of subtleties directly out there, and there's a lot of things that are hidden directly in plain sight out in the open, but it's still hidden in a veil of secrecy, right? So the reason I said all of that is to basically further establish the fact that you have gangs, you have problems, you have symptoms, you have situations. So because you have all of that, because you have all of that wrongdoing, because you have all of that corruption, it is impossible for you to expect the police to actually stand up and do the things that they are supposed to do if they are the ones that are at the head and also being the guard dogs for all of the corruption that is being committed directly out here. And I also want to reiterate to a lot of people that you have some cops out here that are in bed with gangs. They are in bed with a lot of the dealers and different things of that nature. And because of that, they do certain things. So some of the times you might hear about these robberies, you might hear about some of these shootings. Always note that you have undercover cops and agents in gangs. They might formulate their own gangs just to sit up there and get some stuff started, right? You got some of these cops who are actually drug dealers, legal drug dealers, because this is what they're supposed to do in order to catch, quote unquote, the plug, but yet they are the plug, right? Like I said before, it's just, it's a whole bunch of corruption all over the place.